Okay, so I think that I am understanding a little better now what you were asking about organizing your Google Docs. So you're right. In your last email, that I think we were both talking about two different things. So there are two different software programs essentially that Google has. Well, there's many that Google has available, but the two specific ones I'm looking at is docs.google.com, which is Google Docs. And then the other one that I was talking about, where your classroom folder is and where your organization of folders is Google Drive. And to get to that one, you go to drive.google.com. So the difference is basically Google Docs is similar to Microsoft Word or any other word processing software where you just create your document within that. It's not really a place to organize your files with folders and other things like that. You can have some organization within that, but it is pulling from another program to do that organizing. So that for Google is Google Drive. So Google Drive is similar to Windows Explorer, if you're familiar with that, which is where all of your files and things would be organized on your Windows computer. So Drive is essentially Windows Explorer, and Google Docs is essentially Microsoft Word or some other word processing software. Okay, so I'm going to switch now to the internet where I have first my Google Docs. So I'm assuming that your view for Google Docs looks similar to this, where you've got tons and tons of documents sitting here in utter chaos, not really organized in any particular way, no folders, nothing to kind of keep it together. So that's fine because I think moving forward, you should just go to Docs if you are looking to create a new document. But the way I'm going to show you to do it, to create a new document directly from Google Drive, I think will help to keep you better organized. And then also make it easier when you want to put things into Google Classroom for you to find them. So let's ignore Google Docs for now. I'm going to go over here. I have another tab open, and this is my Google Drive. So this is the platform that exists similar to Windows Explorer, where you have different folders. Here are my folders. I also have some documents that are kind of just hanging out, not in any particular folder. So my drive is not the most organized, but if you picture a filing cabinet, the folders would be the different folders that you would have, or the different drawers you would have within a cabinet, and then you can organize your word processing documents, or your, whatever your documents are, within these folders. Now, the classroom one that I was referring to in my email, this is completely auto-generated and completely handled by Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is making and creating the files that go into here. That's the one I was talking that you should not touch, because things that go on in here, we don't want to mess up. And then when a student goes to submit something, if the folder they need to put it in within this classroom folder is missing, then it could confuse things for the future. So I will open it so that you can see what it looks like. So when I open my classroom folder, there are folders contained in here that have all been auto-generated, and you'll see they're the same name as the Google Classrooms that I'm a part of. So the ones that you shared with me are showing up here too, because it's the work that's coming from Google Classroom that's getting plopped in here. So if I open one of these, you'll see even Google is telling us not to touch some of this stuff. So these are the templates. When you create a document and you say make a copy for each student, Google puts a template in here for them. And there's some other things. It looked like maybe when you were in Google Classroom and trying to create a document from within Classroom, it gave you some of those files got auto-generated into here. The work that the students are doing are organized within this folder. So if we follow the breadcrumbs up here for my folder organization, you'll see My Drive, Classroom, then your A block class, and then here's the responses that the students submitted where we're at. So that's kind of how you can keep track of where you are within your folders too. So I'm going to come over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to click on My Drive. And then if we go back up here to my folder breadcrumbs, you'll see that right now I'm just looking at the My Drive folder. So this is just the main part of my Google Drive. All right, so I have a bunch of other folders within here. And I can now, what I would suggest, again, because I don't think we should mess with this classroom one, I would suggest coming up here to New and making yourself a new folder. Oops, what did I click on? Sorry, don't do whatever I just did. I don't know what I think I did file upload instead of folder. Sorry, a new folder. And from here, you can call it like English 4A and create a folder that way. And then do a second folder that you will call, English 4AP for your other course, and we'll create that one. Now, when I want to go and create a document that I am then going to later share with my students in Google Classroom, I would come here into my Drive. I would open the folder. So if I'm creating something for English 4A, I would open this folder. And then from here, and again, you can, if you want to break things down even further to, you can make a folder in here for just your reading guides, or you can make a folder for the actual questions and assignments if you want to organize things, even more so within your folders. That's totally fine. I'm a huge fan of folders, even though my Google Drive is kind of a mess. I do enjoy the organization of folders. So now I'm in My Drive. I'm in the English 4A folder. If I follow my breadcrumbs here, I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to do a new Google Doc. That will open up a new tab for me, and I can call this Test 4A Google Doc. If I rename my file here and then down here, test, oh my goodness, I can't type today. Test document. All right, now all changes saved in Drive. So after I've done what I wanted to on here, I can close this tab. It's going to bring me back to my Drive, and you'll see that my document that I created is here in my Drive and my English 4A folder. So if I go back to my Drive, just the main part of my Drive, I can go into English 4A, and then my document that I just created is here so that I can easily and quickly access it again without getting lost in a bunch of different files. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Now we're ready to go to, if I open another tab and I go to Classroom, Google Classroom, having the things organized now within my Google Drive will make it easier to find when I then need to upload them into Classroom. So I'm going to go into this test classroom that I have, so I'm not messing with any of your actual classes. I'll now go to classwork, and this part I know you're familiar with. Create, assignment, and then from here I can add, and I can go to my Google Drive. And once I'm in this screen, I can go right to My Drive, and that should bring up for me my folders. I can open my English 4A folder, and then I will see the document that I created that I want to add. So I hope that answers your questions about the differences between Google Drive and that classroom folder and other folders that you can make to then keep things better organized for you without having to possibly remove any of the students' things. One other thing I wanted to show you, if you have the stamina to learn something else new here with all this fun technology stuff, I'm going to close out of this assignment one that I was creating. I think that maybe some of your students, especially the ones who were saying that they couldn't find the assignment the other day, I think maybe they were looking for the questions that you were saying you were going to post later on in a different assignment. My suggestion would be when you are sharing just the notes, like those close reading notes that you were sharing or the reading guides, if you go here to create and you share that as a material, then it does not come up for the students as if there is something due that they have to submit or turn in. It's just something that you're sharing with the class to, to look at, class notes or things for them to refer to. You can still make the close reading things an assignment if your assignment to them is to actually read and check off through Google Classroom that they have completed that. But you may want to share that more as a material and just say read by this date. There will be an assignment posted with questions for you to respond to about your reading, in another post on another day. And then that one you would post, I'm going to close this one again, you would do the create an assignment for the ones where you actually want the students to submit something back to you. Just a suggestion, you can continue doing it the way that you were. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way, but I think it might just help to alleviate a little bit of confusion and questions on the students' end from what exactly do I have to turn in? Why is it saying I have something that I didn't submit? Those kinds of things that the kids might be seeing on their end. I hope all is well and that I didn't bore you too much. I'm over 12 minutes here. Oh. All right. Have a great evening and let me know if there's anything else I can help you out with. Thanks. See ya.